they can't speak English, but I can sing and the melodies are somehow translating something and connecting me to these strangers. So my mom is American, but my dad is New Zealand, and I think I mainly got the travel bug from him, because him and my mom have just traveled the whole world. And my grandma, my American grandma, she said, you have to bring your guitar. And she's like, I see you playing there, like you have to play there. When she was my age, or younger than me, she went to Italy for 4 years to study opera. Just like what she's given to me is this huge love for music. She still likes music probably more than anyone I know. And so me going on this trip with my guitar felt like taking off where she left off. One of my favorite moments from the trip was playing at the Seine River in Paris at Golden Hour, because it was just magical. The time was right. Let's go play at the river. And you know, we made friends and people watched, and we got to play my friend's French song that she wrote. And it was a cool moment because that French song did not work in Redding, California, but it made sense there, and my music actually made sense there, and I felt like I got to touch people and like see people's eyes light up when I played, and then even just playing at the Louvre was definitely a highlight for me. Just random little like surprises around the corner. It was like every day there was a new thing, just kind of living life, and then like all these good things would just follow us. Made my way down to the south of France, got to explore some different like medieval old villages that felt very timeless, camped in the backyard of the south of France. Then I went over to the Riviera. This was the first time where I was actually by myself, not meeting up with anyone, just making friends. So that was an interesting experience, staying in hostels and meeting new people. I went to Cannes, the dreamy place for film festival. I've always wanted to go there. Antibes, Monaco. So it was very just beautiful turquoise water and just very like glamorous. After that, I went up to Switzerland with the family I was staying with, and they do casual like 5-hour hikes like it was no big deal. So it was like a lot of active things and then a lot of like introverted time where I got to just write and play. So I didn't really play that much for people, but I would just bring my guitar down to the river or to the waterfall and get inspired there. And then I went to Paris again. At that point it felt like home. They had an expo in Pompidou with all the beat poets from San Francisco. And so it was cool because I kind of stumbled upon it, and I've always been inspired by Jack Kerouac and obviously the Travelers and the poets. And so it was cool getting to go to it in Paris, and I learned how they were very inspired by 3 cities, San Francisco, New York, and Paris. And I felt like it was interesting that I was at the expo in Paris, even though I live so close to San Francisco and I've never been to it there. And I felt like, oh, like this is gonna be my life. I have friends in Paris, I have friends in all over the world, and I'm just gonna be traveling, visiting different places, letting it inspire me, and writing poetry and writing songs out of that. And then I went to the West Coast, Biarritz, and that place was awesome because it has surf waves, felt like San Diego. That culture was just super fun. We would have like sunset picnics on the beach, and I'd bring my guitar and play, and I found the French hippies. It was so cool. I like attracted them like a magnet. We just sing in French and sing in English and be like a musical. Spain is just like nowhere I've been before. Just the energy is amazing. So there's like Americans, and then their Parisian friends, and then these people from the West Coast, and so we had this big group of people who just love music and a good time, and so it felt like we all knew each other for years, even though a lot of us just knew each other for a couple days. I spent the day in Brighton, which is one of my favorite spots in England. That night I caught a train to East London, to play an open mic, but I was late, and so I was really mad at myself. I'm just like, I'm itching to play for people like on a stage. Like I've done these videos, I've done these takeaway shows, like, and I've been powerful with what I have, but I actually like want to play a show for people and have an audience. And so I knew I was late, and I knew like I wouldn't get a slot unless something opened up for me. And so I kind of begged the guy, I'm all the way from California, like, please can I have a slot? And I also had a friend who connected me, who's friends with them, and so they gave me one. Well, first they're like, I'll give you one song. I was like, okay, perfect. And then later he came back to me and he's like, okay, you're all the way from California, I'll give you 2 songs. It felt really profound because it felt like the beginning, not the end. It didn't feel like this was the end of my opportunity, that I got 2 songs, a 10-minute slot. It felt like this is the start of it. Like, people are going to want me to play. I'm gonna tour Europe someday. And after playing, the guy who hosted the open mic night came up to me and said, hey, so when are you leaving? And I said, I leave Thursday night. He's like, oh, bummer. Thursday night I'm hosting a show, and I was gonna ask you to be the featured artist for the show. And I was like, are you kidding me? He's like, you're just gonna have to come back. And so in that moment, I wasn't like beating myself up for it, for my next part of the journey. I was just like, I'm gonna have to come back. It's as simple as that. Like, so yeah, London was kind of just little gifts and surprises around each corner. Never planned the day just happened how it wanted to, and it always like blew me away. Why not go to Iceland? And once I realized that it was financially possible to fly home from Iceland instead of London, I was like, this is literally the icing on the cake. Like, this is my last dream spot to go. And it feels so epic that you would feel like you'd have to do it on another trip separate, but it worked on the end of it. And so I was super blessed to get to go to Iceland and just road trip for a week. And so first night was camping. We were just in this very sparse land, the ocean right near us. We swam in the hot pool at night and then camped in there, and then woke up and we were just like, where are we? Because there's these beautiful green mountains with waterfalls everywhere.
It's one of those.
Paris.
I think it's actually.
And then I went to Biarritz, the west coast, and then I hopped over to England, and then now I'm going to Iceland. The cool thing about this trip is it taught me so many lessons, and it also showed me what is possible. That realization of you never arrive felt like I got it while I was there. But I was also really lucky because the next day, like, something awesome would happen. It just kept like story topping itself. So now I'm at home, like, I have to remind myself again, I never arrive. Even if I hit a peak of something or I live a dream come true, it's like, okay, that's not me arriving, and that's not even like, it can't fill me up. It's still not gonna be the thing that fills me up. It's like living life is a day-to-day, you know? And so being home, it's just letting memories go, letting dreams go, and letting my life unfold like how I did on the trip, and taking the lesson of how when I didn't try, when I was caught off guard, that's when the things would like kind of fall in my lap. And as a rule for me coming home, that's great for me to apply in my normal life, because I really try to strive and work hard to manipulate things, and it's always better when I just let them go, and kind of, obviously it's like the tension of letting go and not controlling things, but then owning my power. If I didn't buy a one-way to Paris, then I wouldn't have a one-way from Iceland to home. And Iceland was like such an epic part of my trip. So it's like owning my power and also realizing that I can't control things and just to like receive.
Champs-Élysées, au soleil, sous la pluie, à midi ou à minuit, il y a tout ce que vous voulez. Thank